Welcome, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started since we've got over 35 people joining us so far, and more may also join us. Welcome to this week's UW System Career Track. I'm Linda Peacock Landrum, Director of Career Services at UW Green Bay, and UW Green Bay is hosting this week's Career Track, which is featuring Sargento. Just a couple of reminders to students and those of you who are on the call. I'm going to put a registration link into the chat right now. If you would please make sure that you fill it out. It is particularly critical for some students if they are looking to potentially earn credit with some of their institutions. So please make sure that you do that. I will put it in a couple of more times throughout as well. Just a reminder, this is that official link that I have dropped in that's just going to ask you to verify who you are as far as participating today. And this is very important for UW-Stevens Point students to receive credit for their pro event. Secondly, I just want to remind you that throughout fall semester, we are going to continue to offer these virtual career tracks every Wednesday at noon. You can find these events in your campus system in Handshake and also on the official website that is housed at the UW River Falls campus. And you will be able to see that here currently and likely somewhere on your career services home site as well through your own institution. If you've missed the career tracks, the previous videos are listed for those that have already been held, and you can go back and view the career tracks from last year for fall of 2020 as well as spring of 2021. We are quite fortunate to have the collaboration of all the career services offices across all 13 institutions in the UW system collaborating on UW system career tracks. And a big shout out to all of my colleagues on the call, as well as if they're not, for all the hard work and dedication that has gone in to organizing these events, particularly our tech person today, Haley Carr, who is at UW Superior. I want to remind everybody that next week's career track is with DeForest Area School District, hosted by UW-Madison. So at this particular point, I'm going to stop sharing my video and turn it over to our guest speaker, who is Ann Throka. Ann is the Community Engagement Manager with Sargento. So go ahead, Ann. And we can't hear you. You're still muted.
Thanks, Linda. I appreciate that. I am pulling up the right screen here as we did all of our trial. Okay, so can you see my first slide that I have for everyone?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So good afternoon. We really appreciate you taking time to learn more about Sargento, and we're excited to have a career conversation with you during this lunch hour time. So please make sure you use the chat to ask any questions you have along the way, because we want to make it, I want to make this experience as personal as possible so that you get the information you're seeking to learn about Sargento as a potential future employer. And I hope that you know our cheese. A lot of people tell us we have great cheese, and we appreciate that. And throughout this presentation, we hope you also learn that we're a great place to work as well. So I'd like to, on behalf of our CEO, Louis, and our Senior Vice President of Operations, Mike McAvoy, they are two of our family-owned leaders of our company. So Sargento is a privately owned family company. Our CEO joined us back in 2013, and our EVP of Operations joined us back in 2014. And as you can see, Louis is a Notre Dame grad, and Mike is a St. Norbert grad. And we are so excited to be, again, a privately family-owned company led by two people who are part of the Gen Team family and help lead our Sargento family. So I'm going to show you a video. So because today we're not on site here at Sargento, so this gives you a behind the scenes look at our company, and it'll be just about 2 minutes, and we'll get back together right after the video. Great. Well, hopefully that gave you an idea of who Sargento is. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our company. We are over a $1.5 billion net sales company. We have two divisions. So we sell directly to consumer, and hopefully you see a lot of our products at the grocery store. And then we also sell through food service and ingredients, including different restaurant partners. We have more than 2,000 employees as part of our Sargento family. We're located in 4 different facilities. We have our Plymouth headquarters and our corporate facility in Plymouth, Wisconsin, which is located directly between Milwaukee and Green Bay. We also have our Kiel plant, our Hilbert plant, and in Elkhart Lake, we have a technical center with our food science and engineering. And I hope you know our product. We have 100% natural cheese products, and we make slices, shreds, and snack products. So here you can see our 3 different product lines that we do have with lots of different flavors and varieties of cheese, and created in different cheese forms that our consumers love. And it has helped our company continue to grow. You can find our cheese products at any of stores throughout Wisconsin, but not only are we in Wisconsin, we're also throughout the United States. And a lot of people, including yourselves, may purchase your groceries online. And so we are on Amazon and different organizations that you can place your order online and pick it up, as well as Quick Trips and 7-Elevens and CVS and Walgreens pharmacies. As I mentioned, we do have a food service channel. So not only do we sell direct to consumer, but we sell to our restaurant and chain partners, some of our different products that are not labeled on the menu. So you wouldn't necessarily know you're eating Sargento cheese, but here are some of the partners that we work with through the restaurant chains that use our Sargento cheese on their products. And we also have a fruit ingredients channel. So we have our chefs who work with our partners to create new ingredients and new items that will be sold to different partners that you see listed here. So if you do buy a bag of lettuce, bagged salad, and it has a little cheese packet in there, chances are it's Sargento cheese that you're eating on top of that salad. So as you can see for Sargento, we work together. So we have both our manufacturing and our corporate employees and our consumers and suppliers. We believe in the power of we, that it takes all of our innovation, building our brand, developing our Sargento family who are employees, always asking how we can do things better, and developing relationships like we are today with potential future talent. We call it the power of we. And now I want to focus on the types of positions that we have at Sargento when you think of us as a place to work. So as I mentioned, we have both office, corporate positions, as well as manufacturing. 75% of our 2,000 positions are in manufacturing, and 25% of our positions are in corporate. And as I mentioned, our corporate offices are in Plymouth, and our plants are in Plymouth, Kiel, and Hilbert. We have many different career areas of interest, which I hope you saw in the video that we shared today. So here are our main teams and departments that we have at Sargento. And so depending on your area of study at university, we hope you see one that you may be qualified or interested in. And we can talk more about those today. So as you might have questions, please feel free to ask those questions. I'd encourage you even in the chat right now just to engage by letting us know what career area is your interest of the ones we have listed here, or maybe that aren't listed here. So feel free to start putting that in the chat so I have an idea of what you're interested in. Here's just an idea of some of the employees that we have at Sargento, and we dress for our day. So depending on your role and your responsibility, you may have different dress, but we do have a business casual environment, as you can see, for those who are in the office area. And then those who are working in manufacturing, food production is very similar to healthcare. So of course, it's a clean, safe, sterilized environment to make sure that your food is safe. And so you can see what our employees wear is a hairnet, safety goggles, and then they have a uniform as they're doing their role and responsibilities on the production floor. We do have a career site that is specific to all of our different positions at Sargento. And what you're looking at is the homepage of our career site right now. And you can see that we have a student page on that career site, which is on the top of the header there. And so I encourage you to check out us at careers.sargento.com and to click on the student page. We're going to do that right now. We have many student positions. I've listed them here as far as internships, co-ops, youth apprenticeships, youth co-ops, and even general production student positions. So if you visit our career site, again, careers.sargento.com, which we're going to do right now, it will take you to our career site. And once you get to our career site, you just simply click on students in the header. And once you get to the student page, you'll learn about student opportunities. Here I've directed us to the student page that has all of the open positions that are available right now. So for college university students who have completed their sophomore year, or currently right now in their sophomore or their junior year, we have internship and co-op positions. And so we encourage you to apply for any of these open internship and co-op positions that are listed here. You simply click on the one that you're interested in and qualified for, and it will take you through the online application process. For all of our internship and co-op positions, I highly encourage you to apply now in October, as many of those are filled by December, and they have start dates in May. It's a traditional 12-week summer position at Sargento. In addition to the internship and co-op positions, we also have general production student positions. And again, if you click on this link, and we're going to learn more about it on the next slide, it's a brand new position at Sargento. And this is for students who are pursuing a degree full-time, but who are looking for a minimum to work at 16 hours a week. So this is a very flexible position around your school schedule, and it changes based on your fall, winter break, spring semester, and summer schedule. And we're going to dive more deeply into that one as well. If those of you who are looking for employment while you're going to school, that's a great opportunity as well. So as I mentioned, we have this new student position in general production. It pays over $21 an hour. Plus, if you work on second shift or third shift, and I've noted the times there, it's an additional $1 or $2 per shift premium. So if you work somewhere between 2 to 10 p.m., you could do 16 hours a week. So you might work 2 days a week for a 4-hour shift. And then one day you might work an 8-hour shift to make your 16-hour schedule. Again, you'd earn over $21 an hour plus that $1 shift premium if you're on second shift. And after 90 days of employment, of successful employment, you would qualify for up to $5,250 a year for college university tuition. So that's where we would award $2,500 each semester that you work for us a minimum of 16 hours a week. And we would hope you'd stay with us for 1 year. Or if you do while you're going to school, you could get that $5,250 each year that you're working with us to use to pay for your college university tuition, in addition to being paid $21 an hour. So again, those shifts can be 4 or 8-hour shifts around your school schedule. So you would take a look at, when am I going to school? When do I need to study? When am I involved in my extracurriculars? When might I have time to work at 16 hours a week? And then we focus on that time that you would have open in your schedule to work. We do have free cheese in our lunchroom. And then once you become an employee, if you refer a friend, and then at that 6-month mark, if your friend is hired and they're with our company for 6 months successfully, both you and your friend receive the $500 referral bonus. This just tells you a little bit more about the role of what a production sanitation utility student does at Sargento. So it is right in our plant, and you do work in production on the line, and it does rotate around different responsibilities. So you saw in the video a lot of those roles of a production sanitation utility student position in general production and what it looked like working in a manufacturing environment. So as I mentioned, we do have that tuition reimbursement. So again, it's just 90 days of successful employment. You must work a minimum of 16 hours a week, and then you're eligible for up to that $5,250 per year for college tuition, which would be paid out $2,500 per semester. So if you're interested in an internship or a co-op or the general production student position, I do encourage you to go online to that career site we just looked at, which is at careers.sargento.com. You would be encouraged to complete the application for the position that you're interested in and qualified for. Once we get that application, then a recruiter follows up with you to schedule an interview or a phone screen. And based on that, how that interview goes, a job offer would be made to you. We do a background check and a drug test, and then we set the start date. And as many of your positions, I'm sure some of you have already had different types of jobs. We always encourage you to highly prepare for an interview with our company. And so you may want to research the job posting that you saw listed right here on our career site and really read about the education, the skills, and the experiences we're looking for, and thinking about how that makes you the best qualified candidate for the position. And those are the things that you'll want to share and highlight during the interview. You want to research Sargento and really look through all of our career site to learn about us. So just by going to careers.sargento.com and really reviewing that website, you're going to learn a lot about our company and be able to ask great questions or share what you know during that interview process. And then make sure you review your resume so that you're really confident about all the things that you've done that make you stand out and be the best qualified candidate. And just like today, right now, when you see me, you've made a first impression, and I'm impacting you on what you think about myself or Sargento. The same for yourself as well, that during that interview process, you're really making a first impression, and think about what do you want people to remember about you based on that first impression. During the interview, you'll be asked questions in particular about your work history, your flexibility, and what have you done to help others. That's very important to the Sargento family culture. And just remember that as a student, if you don't have a lot of work experience, you definitely have a lot of experience in school, in your classes, in your area of study, in the extracurriculars you participate in projects and volunteering that you do. And those are all really important to be able to share about the experiences and the skills that you've gained. And like anything, if there's a question asked and you're not sure how to answer, always pause. Let yourself think about it. That's very common. And remember, recruiters interview a lot of people. So always take a moment, pause, and think about your answer before you give an answer. So what would happen next is after you apply for any position with Sargento and you go through that interview process and you meet with the recruiter, if you are offered a position, you are asked to do then a drug test, and you can do that right at Sargento, or sometimes there's different locations depending on where you're located. We ask you to go and have that drug test completed. And then we also have you do an online background check through MRA. It's a separate link that we send your email, and you complete that as well. And once we have the results back from both of those, then the job offer is official and we can set that start date. So we have many different ways to connect with people. And so right now I encourage you, if you have your phones out, to connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. We do have our Sargento cheese. So that's our brand and our cheese products. You'll see lots of fun stories. And then if you want to learn about us more as a place to work and an employer, at Instagram, we are at Sargento Family. And on LinkedIn, you can find us at Sargento Foods, Inc. So I encourage you to like us and follow us on any social media that you choose, any or all. And what you'll see is we post about once or twice a week, and you really get, again, more of a behind the scenes look at who our employees are, what they're up to, what we're up to as a company, to let you know what makes Sargento different and a great place to work. So with that, I just want to share that on behalf of our CEO and our executive VP, two of our family-owned members of our private company, Louie and Mike, that at Sargento, you work for a company you believe in, with a family of people who believe in you and want to support your success. So with that, I want to thank you for taking the time to learn more about Sargento, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Ann. And while I wait for some additional questions to come in through the chat, we did have individuals who shared their interest areas. So we have everything from communication to sales, accounting, finance, human resources, management, administration. If you want to specifically comment on any of those areas before I get to any questions that are entered into the chat, okay?
Absolutely. So if right now you do have a specific question about any of those teams, they're all very dynamic at Sargento, and we have many different employees and projects that they work on. So typically what we do offer at Sargento are called career experiences. So very similar to what you're doing today. I can share a link with Linda and she can share that with all of you. But our next event that we do, that we host as a company, is on November 4th, and we have one on December 9th. And that also is from noon to 1. And then I have employees in those areas. So when you sign up, you tell me that area that you just shared that you're interested in. And during the presentation, we talk about Sargento, what I shared with you already. And then we have individual career conversations. So you can go on breakout rooms and talk to somebody about that career. But if you have specific questions, I can answer those for you today as well.
I'm still waiting for some questions to come in. One thing that I wanted to ask, Ann, you commented about the internships and co-ops would be open for sophomores and juniors. So if we have first year students who have joined us, they'd be able to get a taste and feel for Sargento with that student position. And could they apply to maybe work full-time for the summer?
They can. So that general production student position is a great opportunity. We encourage our high school seniors between their senior and freshman year of college. We say that's a great job. So when you graduate from high school and after your freshman year, we really encourage that if you are looking at a company that has a manufacturing component, that you do consider working in the manufacturing plant floor, because no matter what degree you're going to have, understanding the value that the manufacturing floor has, because everything that we touch is about the product and the people. And that all has to happen with what's going on in our manufacturing environment to get our product out the door, to keep getting to our customers to help the company grow. So it's really important, and it's very valued in the interview process when you do apply for other internship or co-op positions or entry-level full-time positions. They will ask about your work history and experience. So at a company like Sargento that has both office and manufacturing, it's great if you have both sides, or at least one of those when you're in the interview process. If you said you worked in manufacturing, that will help you stand out in an office position you might be applying for.
We've got a couple of questions that have come in. First question, do you typically hire your interns for full-time work after graduation? Is that a transition that happens?
That's a fantastic question. So when we create the positions, we make sure that we explain to our interns and co-ops, we don't have them tied to entry-level positions. However, we make sure that our experiences give you the skills and experiences that are going to prepare you for an entry-level position at Sargento, or if we don't have a position available at any other company in the industry. So the experiences are always shared from our interns and co-ops that we really give amazing experiences, really are, they're leading projects that truly entry-level people would do. So they're excited about that over their 12-week experience with us. This year, I'm excited to share that we actually did, out of the 15 students that we had, we were able to offer 4 full-time positions, and they're with our company right now.
Very good. That's good to hear. Next question is, what ways has Sargento helped you grow and develop in your career?
That's a great question as well. So my story personally, and also many stories at Sargento, is we're offered training and development constantly. So, the Sargento spirit is it wants you to, as a company, we want you to grow and advance. So you have many opportunities to go to conferences and meetings, to stay current and connected to people in your industry and network. Not only do you get to do that and go to those conferences and meetings, but also if you participate in the tuition reimbursement program. So many of our employees that may have bachelor's degrees already are going on to get their master's degrees. So really exciting to share that, again, after 90 days of employment, if you are looking to pursue a master's degree, Sargento will pay up to $30,000 of that master's degree. And that is a lifetime gift. So it's only a one-time $30,000 value. But you can use that toward a master's degree at Sargento.
Cool. Next question, and you may have elaborated a little bit on your answer there, Anne, when you talked about training and development and constantly learning. What do you like about working at Sargento?
I love the Sargento family culture. So it really, we say we hire good people and we treat them like family. And I think what it comes down to is, good, what does that mean? And it means people who really care about one another. And so it's an environment that, I share my story as I am a mom of 4 and I had stepped away. I worked for 10 years and then I stepped away to raise my children. And this was a return to work for me and to career. And I really was seeking the right opportunity where I didn't want to travel all over the country as I had before children. But I wanted to do something with a company that was very exciting and out there in different opportunities. And when this opened up, it allowed me to have my family first philosophy and also do very exciting things in my career. So for me, it's really the Sargento family culture. and meeting other people who are as excited in their career to develop themselves.
You might have touched on this a little bit in this last answer, but I do want to ask it. What has Sargento done to help you?
So I think that, what it does to help me is it always gives, I think, any employee that opportunity to identify what your interests are. So again, I guess when I'm going to kind of deflect it off of me, but if someone in production, has come to Sargento and they weren't sure what they wanted to do, and they are working in our plant, after 90 days, we have the tuition reimbursement. So any employee, actually, if I have a change of heart and I say I want to become a teacher, or if that person in production says I want to go for a teaching degree or a nursing degree, that's part of our tuition reimbursement program, even though we don't have those positions at our company. So again, that's where the family-owned Gentine philosophy, it's about what your interests are, what your passions are, and that while you're working, you can pursue that degree in any area that you choose. So whether that is for you to move on to a different area at the company or a different area outside of the company into our community, by you doing that is you make yourself better and you make the community better. So it's just really that true belief that people are valued and important.
Wonderful. Lots of family references throughout this, which is not surprising as a privately owned, family-owned company. Next question is specific about internships. What intern positions does the engineering team typically hire for?
That's a great question. So at Sargento, it's a co-op position. So we call that the engineering co-op. And the difference between the internship and the co-op is the length of time. So many of our internships, I think 12 of our 15 are interns. So those are 12-week May to August positions, full-time during those 12 weeks. But then our engineering, instead, we offer the co-op. So they start in May, but they actually stay with us through December. So it's a summer and a semester of school, which is very traditional in the engineering area. So I know those students are prepared that it will be an extra semester of school typically for them till they get their degree. But we do offer that engineering co-op, which is the 7-month experience instead of the 3-month.
Specifically, do you know if it focuses on manufacturing, engineering, electrical, mechanical? Do you have any details in that area, or does it?
No, absolutely. Yeah, great question. So we currently, our engineering co-op is with us right now. The rest of the students left, and she and 2 other co-ops are still with us. So it focuses a lot on the robotics and automation that is in our plants. And so it's very much on mechanical as well as industrial and electrical. So those 3 engineering degrees are very critical to us. All of them are valuable, but in a manufacturing environment that is very automated and has technology, that mechanical, industrial, and electrical engineering background and expertise is very helpful.
While I'm waiting for more questions to come in, and please, individuals, list those questions for us. Quite a few people indicated accounting and finance. Can you comment on where they might work or what types of projects they might work in, especially as interns?
Absolutely. So our accounting and our finance team has 2 internship positions currently open, and they are accepting applications. As I mentioned, you want to get those applications in here in October because we start making job offers. We try to get those before Thanksgiving break or sooner. If we find the best qualified candidate, they may make a job offer this week. So I do encourage you to apply today. On that site, if you go to careers.sargento.com and look at our finance and accounting internship job description, it will really tell you about what that role and responsibility is. And you're going to see it's very similar to what an entry-level position is. But I know many times they're working on, those Excel spreadsheets are critical in finance and accounting, and they're really digging down deep into the numbers and really finding cost savings and tracking supplies and things that we have within our company. So they have a specific project. They actually have 2, usually 2 or 3 projects that you own and lead as an intern at Sargento. And then many times our company finds, okay, we need to figure out who this is going to roll on to, because it's so valuable that we need to keep going what that student worked on and developed for us. So many times you're really leading and owning a new product in that space. So in finance and accounting, that's a great opportunity. And our mentors, who are the direct supervisors for each of our students, typically have been with us at least 3 years or more in this program, and they're just great leaders. So they're really, really focused on your success.
Wonderful. Another question just came in. What initiatives does Sargento have in the realm of diversity, equity, and inclusion? Are there any employee groups or support in those areas?
Oh, great question. So at Sargento, we just started a diversity, inclusion, and belonging group called DIBS, which I'm a member of. We started that. It's been around for 2 years. We haven't done an official launch yet. As a company, our CEO and leadership team has been working on a strategic plan. So for diversity, equity, and inclusion, that will be announced to us as a company in January here, and then it will be brought to life throughout our company. So we're very excited about that. But we will have an employee business group called DIBS, Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging at Sargento, that all employees will be invited to join and connect with one another. And we focus a lot on belonging. So it's really making people feel respected, valued, and that you can contribute and share your ideas within the teams that you work in to anything in our company. And that's why our company has been so successful, because we really feel that if you share your ideas, that's how innovation happens. It's that through that collaboration, and that everyone should be respected and valued.
You mentioned that you're growing. You hired 4 of your 15 interns this past summer. Do you have any projections about where employee growth might be headed in the future in terms of either production or also corporate, which would be of a stronger interest for our graduates?
Great question. So as a company, we continue to grow. We'll start in our manufacturing area, since that is 75% of our positions, but our products continue to be highly successful. Our most recent product that I shared in that presentation was Balanced Breaks, and we did a partnership with our cheese and crackers. So if you know it, it's the tomato basil wheat thins with our cheese. They come in kind of those round containers, and people are just buying them like crazy. So they continue to make our facilities need to grow and expand. So we're always hiring people, which is why we had the new general production student position to really help students who are looking to work while they're going to school to help, be able to fund their education. So that's really a great opportunity that I was excited about, that we've added that position. And then as a company, the state of Wisconsin is aging, and a lot of people are baby boomers and they're exiting the workforce. So as those years of experience are changing, we as a company are looking to grow more entry level positions. So that's the exciting news, is that I think in Wisconsin, there weren't as many entry level positions over the last few years. And as a state, all of our companies are taking a look at that. So I know for Sargento as well, we are having more entry level positions, which is why you're seeing some of our interns and co-ops getting opportunities, as well as, people whoever applied, they were the best qualified candidates for those positions.
You mentioned that your corporate's in Plymouth and you've got the tech center in Elkhart Lake. How did Sargento adapt in terms of the pandemic? And are there differences now in terms of remote work opportunities for employees? And what will that look like in the future?
Great question. So when you think of a food and beverage company, so we are a food company. And when you think of all the different times that recessions have hit our country, food has survived every one of them so far. So let's knock on wood to that. So COVID was no different. Food remained highly strong and our company grew. So what we did is on that March 13th or 16th date, when the world kind of changed in that moment, manufacturing facilities, we were one of the essential industries. So manufacturing, because we're producing food products, stayed open. We have not closed our doors since day one. We have not gone remote in a manufacturing environment. So we have, our leadership team really took a look at how do we make our manufacturing environment safe for our employees. We always keep our food safe, but how do we also keep our people safe through this COVID? And we made different accommodations to be able to do that. So we've never had to close any of our plants. They've been operating. And as you can tell, our product is growing. People, consumer keep buying the product. And then on the operation side, or on the office side, we did go remote with our office positions. So over 90+% of our office positions all went fully remote. So that was an overnight switch. And I think people realized is you can do it remote, but all through the experience at the end of this, we'll call it a social experiment, that people did realize though being fully remote wasn't ideal, that there still is something about the human connection. So today, this is giving me an opportunity to reach many of you who don't have vehicles or we're not close together in the time and the travel with among your other classes. So this is phenomenal. So we're finding that, the ability to virtually connect is valuable, but that as an office, that still being in the office is important to making those relationships grow. So our office positions have flexibility on Mondays and Fridays. We can have the option to work remote. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, we are in the office. And so as you can see today, I'm in the office.
I put in a last call for questions in the chat. I don't see any more that have come in. I'll give an opportunity if there happens to be some additional questions to come forward. While we're waiting for that, there were several people that did indicate interest in business management and in administration. So are there some roles that you can think of from an internship perspective that would be open to those individuals?
Absolutely. So again, at careers.sargento.com, go to the student page and search the student jobs that are posted. In the business area, you are going to see a brand management intern position, and you're going to see 2 sales positions posted. One of the sales positions is the one that we call consumer packaged goods. So it's sold directly to the consumer. The other one is our food service ingredients. So it's sold directly to those restaurants and other businesses that you saw in the presentation. So we have 3 open positions for people in that that are currently, and we have an e-commerce one that just posted, e-commerce as well. So we have 4 positions open for students that are in that business space that are studying marketing, e-commerce, brand management, and sales. I would encourage you too that as you're in the chat, my one ask would be, what is the next step that you might take after today's presentation? What did this inspire, or what's your takeaway? And what's one thing you might do because of something you thought of or going to do? And I would just welcome that any of you to share that in the chat of what's the next step you're going to do after this presentation to explore your future, to explore your potential career.
I'm going to look and see if we get those responses. And is it okay for me to include in the chat your name, title, and email address?
Absolutely. I always am open to students directly contacting me with additional questions and helping you find that right fit for what's next for you.
Wonderful. Not seeing anything added in terms of those next steps. While we're waiting for that, you mentioned the events on November 4th and December 9th. Are those going to be virtual, in person, or both?
Both. So we do a session on both those days. We will do from 8:30 to 11:30 in person, and then from noon to 1 will be virtual. So that way, any student who would prefer to, or is able to, or would prefer in person has that opportunity, and those who want to join us virtually have that opportunity as well. So I will provide that link to Linda, and hopefully then she can share that out to all those that have joined us on our call today.
Absolutely, I will do that. No one has indicated sort of what their next steps and follow-ups are in the chat. I'm going to look and see if there's any more questions. I do want to ask, because I have students who are interested in the research and development and microbiology. So when you look at a science background, does it matter? Do they have to be biology? Do they have to be food science? Can they be chemistry to be competitive for those opportunities that you've indicated in?
That's a great question. So again, we look at our innovation space divided up in a couple different areas. So one is our food science. So we have, as you're going to go and see those internship positions, we have a food science internship position, which is specific to food science and that food science major studying in that space. Then we have microbiology interns. So if you are studying the microbiology space or getting that degree in kind of that microbiology chemistry area, that would be of interest as well. And then we have a supply quality. Our quality team has a co-op position, and those are for students who are studying food, safety, and quality, business degree, or one of your science degrees, because it's a really interesting career pathway that many people from all of those different areas of study go into. So we call that our innovation, our research and development team. And again, it's food science, microbiology, and quality.
I put one last call for questions because we've got 17 minutes left. See if we get anything additional that is coming in.
Or if they'd share one word or one takeaway of what they thought of this opportunity, that would be great too. It just gives us a chance to engage with you and get your feedback, just one word about the video or this conversation, what your takeaway was.
There we go. And I can share those as those come in. Well, while we're waiting for that to happen, Anne, I greatly appreciate your time today sharing the ins and outs of Sargento, the basis and the history of the family business, the wide range of opportunities from current positions right now while students are going to school, as well as internships and then postgraduate information. I see helpful, informative opportunity, which is wonderful for students to think about in terms of those one-word comments. Inspiring.
Fantastic. I really appreciate this. This is great because I want it to be valuable to you as students. Takeaway of what can this be to help you, figure out what's next for you. I know this is a big decision of the area that you are studying and committing to as your career, and we want to make sure that as employers we're helping you succeed to take that career, to actually have a career, to use your education. And so I encourage all of you, in addition to pursuing that education, to getting the skills and experiences. So that's either through internships, co-ops, working in plant floors in the summer, volunteering. Definitely get involved.
There was a good question that came in at the last minute here, Anne, if you could address that before we go. Do you consider hiring international students for full-time employment?
We do. So if you go on to our career site, you will see that our positions are open to all. And so we encourage you to apply and go through that process, and our recruiters will talk you through that process.
Okay. I want to remind students, if you want the follow-up information that I'm going to send you from Anne about the event on November 4th and December 9th, it's critical for you to fill out that registration. So we will have a valid email address for you for me to be able to send that. And I also will be sending a follow-up survey just for us in career services in the UW system to get some feedback about your interaction and the trek that we had today. So Anne, I don't see any additional questions coming in. Are there any last minute thoughts that you would like to have this group think about as they finish today?
Well, I'd like to end with a huge thank you and already say you took the next step just by joining today's event. You took a step to explore your next step after you receive your degree. So congratulations and thank you for doing that. And again, please reach out to me if I can ever assist you in any way with questions you might have. So I wish you the best of success as you pursue and attain your degrees. Thank you.
Wonderful, Anne. Thanks for joining us today. I want to remind everybody that our next career track will be on October 20th, starting at 12 noon with DeForest Area School District, hosted by UW-Madison. And please look at the additional ones that we have offered. If you missed this career track, if you know a friend who's missed this career track, please share with them the recording so that we would have an opportunity for to be able to view that later on at another date. So please take advantage of that. Follow up with your career services staff members on your home campus to follow up with applications for Sargento or other organizations of interest to you. We're all here about moving forward with your application for opportunities that expand your career. So I just see lots of thank yous that have come in, Anne, and I don't see any other sort of last questions. So I think we're probably good to go today.
Wonderful. Thanks again, Linda and team. We appreciate it. And best of luck, students.
Thank you as well, Anne. Have a good day. And everyone else, have a great day. Thanks for joining us today.